Folks, I want to be positive. I do. I'm an optimist. I have wonderful ideas for the future. You're going to hear them on this show. I was talking about Elon Musk and going to Mars just yesterday, 2 days ago. We're not going to get there unless we do something. Or are we going to send all these people that don't care about stuff to Mars? I mean, that's what we did with the New World, wasn't it? And look what happened. You know, we killed all the Native Americans off. We had slavery, and then somehow out of the ashes of all those terrible genocides, we had what we have today as the United States. Was it ever great? I mean, I kind of just described two pretty bad eras. You know, maybe, 1898 to like 1928. And then 1945 to the 90s, maybe? I don't know, 2001. So when Trump says make America great again, maybe he's talking about 1914. Or the roaring 20s. They were off the chain. Oh, that's great. Just keep blocking traffic, bro. Well, this drive home today, even though you got two separate segments, has only been about 45 minutes so far, and we're getting pretty close. I'm at the second bottleneck almost. And y'all all know I pulled a fast one on that on Tuesday. Wicked. I don't feel bad about it because that guy left a city block of room. Just like some asshole. Making all those people wait behind him because he's busy on his phone or looking down and, oh, we're going? Selfish drivers. I have some students that I've confided in that I trust, about these ventures that I'm doing on the internet in terms of podcasting and working on the name and how to do it. It's almost like Breaking Bad, how to do it anonymously so I can never be caught with proxies and things like that, because God forbid a teacher, speaks candidly about society. So, yeah. So to speak on my behalf of my students that have been helping me, I forgot where I was headed with this. One of them's been, we were discussing something, and now I forgot about what. All right, if I remember, I'll bring it back up. But I do have some great kids. I don't want you to think that my school is terrible, but it's feeling like it's getting worse every year. And you can never live like that. A marriage that feels like it's getting worse every year usually ends in divorce. So maybe I'm at that moment where I need to divorce. Because, if you want to save your marriage, you have two parties involved that have to try. Not just even one. You have to have both. In this case, we got to have 1,700 people try. At least 1,500 of the 1,700. But I don't foresee that happening. That's a long shot. I got home so late after the circus last night. That circus, folks. That was late for me. Teaching, you only work 6 hours a day. Yeah, whatever. Y'all are fucking ignorant about us. You don't know what we do. And yet you still judge us. It's fine. We're only, the future of your kids. Especially those of you who don't really raise them. Who just come home and are like, I'm busy. That's where we come in. We fill the gap for you. And if you want us to keep filling the gap, and you keep paying us less and less, you're going to get shittier teachers. And teachers like me, we're going to leave. Like I told you, I have a brain, I have work ethic that in most other jobs, especially sales, But even at a different school, I will excel. And my scores will look amazing. Because I will move my students ahead instead of feel like they're going behind. So, as long as this keeps up and you either don't provide some amazing fiscal reward for being an educator, which they've tried, I do get, it's crazy, I get a bonus if I'm a good teacher, which I am every year according to the quantifiable things, for staying at this so-called low-income school. And yeah, when I get the check, you're just like, oh, okay, all right. Okay, I can see. But is $1,500 worth me feeling like I do right now? Is $4,000 worth feeling what I do right now? This resentment and self-deprecating, future of where my life is heading? Is fighting with my wife when I get home because we've both had a stressful day worth staying in this situation, this toxic work environment? And it's toxic, folks. If you ever say that teachers don't have a toxic work environment in a city school, I can be more specific, in an inner city school, you are a moron. You are a moron. Eggshells. We are all on eggshells. We fear saying the wrong thing to a certain student because these are the kids that sometimes have nothing to lose. I don't want to die. I can guarantee you my wife, and she's a worrywart, I can guarantee you she some days is just like, oh gosh, he's at a rough school. I want him to be okay. What if something happens? So, I don't know. You want me to stay teaching or not? Do you want better teachers or not? So, and by the way, I start out loving all my students. Every single one I give a chance to. Even if they enter the room on day one like an asshole, I give them the benefit of the doubt. And I give them patience. That's why most of the kids started out respecting me in this class. And for the most part, most of them still do. But I'm struggling. I am struggling. We put up a good fight, folks. We put up a good fight. And we do it for your kids. Most of us don't do it for the paycheck. We already explained why that's impossible. It's a fallback job for a lot of people. And then some just power through, unlike the teacher who quit, last week. He couldn't power through to just keep that paycheck. But think of how many do. The ones that just tune the kids out and ignore them and let them stay on their phones. And so what? They get low scores here and there. It's just a bad year. Please don't forget us. Don't forget about how much we really put into your kids. Especially when you're not around. Sometimes we're there for them when you can't be. You might want to be, but you can't be. We're there for that. Well, I think I'm going to end it early today. I'm coming up to the light, but I don't want to drive home without kind of just relaxing here for a minute and walking in, just smiling and seeing my wife. She already knows I had a bad day. I kind of vented to her by a few texts. So she's already knowing that I'm going to be quiet when I get home, because that's why I just get quiet. Depressed almost, but I'm not a depressed person. I just feel sad that I try so hard and I the whole I pat you on the ass and you shit on my hand. It's the way it feels. Like I try so hard to promote their futures, to explain to them why it's important. That look at me, here I am. I grew up in a trailer. That had roaches and holes in it from where, we accidentally hit the wall, or where we punched the wall, or where Dad made an example in the wall. And I've gone from that to being the first person in my family to own a house, and now my second house. I technically own 2 houses right now. How the hell did I do that? And I try to tell them how. Being a good person, treating people kindly, and letting people know they exist, even if they are the Chinese food delivery guy, which I always tell them. My Chinese food delivery guy was a professor back in China, but you guys probably never even take the time to even think the people who drop your food off are real people. So, well, shoo. I will wake up tomorrow morning refreshed. Tomorrow's the battle day in my work class, which I'm sure I'll talk about on the way home, because it's the first one you guys have been with me for. And that's usually extremely entertaining. Stressful, but entertaining. Lots of things happening. And, I guess we'll leave it at that. Thanks for listening, folks.